Welcome to Chasing Winners. Peter O'Neill, David Shortte and Jesse Earnshaw are about to join you to preview the meeting from Mandurah in the Peel tonight. They will also look in depth at the meeting from Cannington tomorrow night. The boys will also be joined by Ryan Levitsky, who will provide his best over the 2 nights of chasing. Let the chase begin.
At least showing early speed was Barbecue Man. On its outside was Uncle Tommy. Barbecue Man and Uncle Tommy, they light it up into the first corner and eyeball each other. Nothing giving either way here. 5 lengths behind them was Hinto in the clear, and then followed by Miss Envy. Well back behind them was Disco Daisy, Agent 11. Forget about the rest. Off the back, Uncle Tommy, Barbecue Man. They haven't left each other's side. In behind them, Hinto, Miss Envy around the corner. Barbecue Man drops off Uncle Tommy, and Barbecue Man wins the first heat. Second goes to Uncle Tommy, Miss Envy, Hinto.
What a start it was last night to the heats in the series of the WA Sprint Championship. 2 outstanding heats with Barbecue Man defeating Uncle Tommy in the first heat, and then we saw Transcendent run down Firelight, a brilliant win, and what a record Transcendent's getting now for Crystal Shinners as well. As I say, very good morning to our 2 hosts in David Shortte and also Jesse Earnshaw. Brilliant night of greyhound racing in the Avon Valley last night, Shorty.
Yeah, it was, Pete. Good morning to yourself. Jesse, everyone tuned into Chasing Winners. Lovely to be with you. I love both of the 2 sprint heats. We just heard the win there at Barbecue Man. The dog's been racing so well at Northern. Paul's given it plenty of time there to adjust. But, gee, I tell you, the run of Uncle Tommy, first look at Northern on race night, was a superb performance. A lot of dogs take a few runs to get comfortable there. No doubt Uncle Tommy will benefit from that look last night. I thought it was very good in defeat. Miss Envy was also good. After showing early pace, got chopped out, came again. And Hinto, another dog having its first look there at Northern, I thought would benefit greatly from that run. And then the second heat, Firelighter going really well at the track, but all on as Transcendent. It took the camp behind Firelighter, grabbed the trail and was too strong late. It was a super performance. And as you've touched on, this is a dog very similar to the litter prior. They just come out and win, and Miss America, she's some brood bitch, but Firelighter good in defeat. Daddy's Girl off the inside good, and Trevor's Gift through to that final next week. It's going to be something special.
And Andrew Hamilton has the market up prior to the box draw, which will take place probably about 12 o'clock next Tuesday. Transcendent Jesse's at $3.40 with Tab Touch. Firelighter $3.70. Miss Envy $4, Barbecue Man $4.60, Uncle Tommy $8, Hinto $13, Daddy's Girl $17, and then you've got the reserves in there as well. I know Transcendent was very, very impressive. Gee whiz, there's some nice prices about Barbecue Man and Uncle Tommy at the moment.
Yeah, no, they're both really good in their heats. Even Daddy's Girl at $17. That's a pretty good quote. She was really good in defeat last week, and as well as last night as well, Pete.
And how good is it, the fact, Shorty, that we're going to have at least, well, at this stage, we're going to have 2 runners in the sprint final because Uncle Tommy is currently the highest ranked greyhound in the Greyhound Clubs Australia ranking, so he is automatically going through even if he doesn't win the final next week. If he does win the final, then it all changes up, but if he doesn't win, he's guaranteed to make it through to the national final in Adelaide.
That's absolutely spectacular, and what it really does show is how, I guess, underrated Uncle Tommy's been. He's really flown under the radar. He's a dual Group 1 winner, travelled around and performed really well, but he's probably not been the dog that gets the recognition that maybe he's deserved on the way through. He's really done it flying under the radar, so credit to Uncle Tommy, and well, I guess our ideal scenario is don't wish him to be beaten, but if he was to get rolled and have a dual pronged attack going into the final would be a great result for WA Greyhound Racing and give us a super chance in the big one.
I'll ask this question. Of the finalists, which one would have the best chance to win at Angle Park? Because I personally think it would be Hinto, considering it's a 5:30, so you'd have to have a strong greyhound. So I would personally think Hinto, if he goes through to the final, would probably be the WA's best chance. What about you 2 boys?
Oh, well, I don't think Firelighter can win. I'm surprised Firelighter's at the price that he is. I think Transcendent, Barbecue Man, Uncle Tommy, Hinto could all be very, very good chances. Miss Envy normally begins better than what she does, doesn't she?
I'm talking about in the national final.
Yeah. I think all of the WA dogs are up to the standard that we have seen from those that are in the eastern states. So Explicit didn't go through the series. He was the highest ranked greyhound. Uncle Tommy's won 2 Group 1s, so he's currently $8 in our state final.
I'd say no disrespect to, and I won't go through them, but I'd say at least a handful, 5 of those 8 could be very, very competitive in a national final with the right box.
I can tell you that if it came to the shape and body of a handler, Steve Withers at the moment, the way he is, he would win it hands down.
He's in good nick, isn't he? And his dogs are in pretty handy nick as well. But I enjoyed that last night. Something a little bit different. I think we've adapted really well. I was out at Cannington on Wednesday shooting the Greyhound Gold video, and it looks like all track renovations are going quite nicely, Pete. I believe that it's all on track at the moment. They had 1 week that was a bit weird with all the rain, but they've apparently made up the time. And I'm looking forward to.
They have to move the fence. There's a fence they've put on the front straight. They've got to move that. They can't stay there.
It's I'm not 100% sure. Oh, they get
you can't see. And I don't know why it's there. No greyhounds run off there anyway, so I'm not sure why it's there. But anyway, that's for another day. Let's get into the program tonight. Really good card, the Express Stake heats tonight, and also a very good program on Saturday, waiting for the scratchings to come through. Currently, the favourite in the first is Kenya Gulfstream at $2.30. Well done to you and the podcast team, Shorty, last week. You're on fire, outstanding tipping, and we're looking forward to having the Jet Set, the Tab Touch Greyhound Jet Set, up and showing and flying around the country later on this afternoon, but the multi last week was outstanding.
It was a really good night. We landed, I landed my treble, the train landed his treble, which was great. Bonesy Harmon came on and did the Darwin preview. He went 3 for 3. Corey Smith from the Meadows was excellent last week, Pete. He came on and his very best for the weekend got rolled, but around that he found 2 $7 winners. Another of his Rovers arrived at good odds, so it's well worth tuning in. And also Jace Campbell landed 2 of his 3 plays. So between us last week, it was excellent. We've all been working hard, having a good look through the fields for this weekend, so hopefully we can do something similar again later on this afternoon.
Yeah, well, I followed you boys last week, and then I did my best to try and give it back to Tab Touch over the weekend. Kenya Gulfstream favourite at $2.30 in race number 1, and that's the way I'm going for Cody Charles. His team's going along nicely as well, and this greyhound was a really good winner 2 starts back, and then followed that up with a next second behind Security Guard last week. 7 Security Guard I'll put in for second. I think they will run 1-2. 2 Sure Oliver, and number 8 Luxio Wave. 5, 7, 2, 8 in the first.
5, 7, 2 and 8 for Pete. I'd had this sort of 2 dogs that I'm finding it pretty hard to split, and they're different sorts of dogs. I've ended up leaning towards number 2, Shore Oliver. I did like this dog's run last week. It was only the last probably 20 metres over the 488 that it sort of gassed out, was run down the last little bit by Glasgow Boy, but ran some pretty good sectionals on the way through. Back to the 400 metres here, I thought it was a good chance to land up on top of the speed, and in that capacity run a really good race. 5 Kenya Gulfstream is the logical danger. I didn't have a lot separating the 2. I thought that it would be pretty tight between them on the line. Greyhound number 7, Security Guard, is absolutely racing in tip-top order. It has to be seen as a major threat to those 2 particular runners. And I'll round it out with Greyhound number 8, Luxio Wave. 2, 5, 7 and 8 in race number 1. Jesse?
I'll go 5, 2, 1 and 8. 5 Kenya Gulfstream on top. Was good winning 2 back in 22.64. He's sort of a greyhound you can't really trust, but he's got a motor from number 2, Shore Oliver, for third, number 1, Sand Cruiser, and for fourth, I'll throw an 8, Luxio Wave. 5, 2, 1, 8, race 1.
So 5, 7, 2 and 8 I'm going in the opening event on the program. We do have the scratchings that have come through, so let's go through these for you. In races 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, they're clear. Race number 6, scratch number 5, Catchu, is out. Go down to race 7, number 4, Bandit Bullet is a scratching. Race 7, number 4, reserves out of races 9 and 10. And race 11, scratch 6, Go Seek Katoni. Number 6 coming out of that event. Carlo Sorella sending that information through. Thanks, Carlo. Hopefully you have a nice day. Let's go to race number 2. And this is a market with Beauty and Me, the favourite Jessie, currently quoted at $2.30.
Yeah, should really relish the drop in distance over the last couple of weeks. Been racing over the 488 and leading for fun. Just doesn't quite run out a strong 488. But racing well in tougher company, so down to a provincial novice, I think this is her race to lose. From number 8 in Osprey Wizard. Racing well in Victoria, first out for Damien Credelli. For third, number 7, Simple Sally. And for fourth, I'll throw in 2, Sight and Sound. 4, 8, 7, 2, race number 2.
Yeah, I've made this the best bet of the night. Number 4 here, Beauty and Me. It's led at 8 of its last 10 starts and just gassed out the last little bit. I think the 400-metre trip just looks absolutely ideal for this greyhound. Only has to do what it's been doing over the longer trips, step, hold a position, and from there, I don't think they'll run it down over 400 metres. Really keen on this dog tonight. It just looks really perfectly placed. So number 4 on top for me. From number 1, it's Frank. What about this? This greyhound, its last 10 starts, has started from box 8 9 times and box 7 once. So 7 and 8 at his last 10, moves to box number 1. It's only had box 1 once in its life and was placed on that occasion. It's clearly going to be open to some improvement if it enjoys the inside. It hasn't had much of a look there through its career to this point, so it's got scope to improve pretty sharply. A greyhound like It's Frank, given its recent run of box draws. Number 8, Osprey Wizard, is a bit of an unknown canine in this particular lineup, but as Jesse alluded to, some of that form on the East Coast is pretty nice for a race like this. And number 7, Simple Sally, 4, 1, 8 and 7.
You have to turn your microphone off.
Sorry. You have to go and buy a lotto ticket, wouldn't you, if you're Nathan Crawford, after you've drawn box 8?
I'd say that's a preferential box draw race, and this isn't a preferential box draw race, so that's probably why.
Good point, Jesse, if that is the case. It says
Would they all be? Are there that many preferential box draw races?
Tuesdays.
So it just keeps fronting up
preferential box draw
in a novice.
Friday. Yeah. If you look, they're all preferential box draws on a Tuesday.
Gee whiz. Well,
there you go. Okay.
So it probably doesn't like box 1 is what we're trying to say.
Yeah, that's a fair point. But I was just thinking, going, geez, what are the odds of that? But it makes sense. But it seems the dog must be a floss bandit, but the record of 1 and 4 from 12 wouldn't tell you that it's any rock star from the draw. So maybe the 4's more of a moral. That's good news for me, Jesse, because I was keen on the blue and thought that might be a danger with a change in boxes. But that being the case, Beauty and Me, for me, it's all the more love.
All right, I'm agreeing with you. I think Beauty and Me will win. There might be a change in kennels if number 7, Simple Sally, doesn't win. She's only won 1 of 6, and the owners wouldn't be hanging around too long with the trainer if she doesn't improve. Grant and Alana Williams, good luck to them. Number 1, It's Frank, and 2, Signed and Sound, 4, 7, 1 and 2. That'd be funny, wouldn't it, if the Shane train got sacked?
Yeah, I think they understand that there's limitations to potentially the ability levels, and being trainers, they probably can relate to that at different times, Pete.
I might talk to him, just get him to move it on. Race number 3, Sunset Frazier at $1.90, the favourite, and he's another one that looks hard to beat in this type of field. Shorty comes back to WA, last racing up in Queensland against some really tough opposition up there. He should be better than these. Number 1, What a Ripper, I'll put in for second. 3 from the inside. 8, Crumble Manelli, and 2, Get a Beer, 4, 1, 8 and 2. And I think it's a good price for Sunset Frazier.
Yeah, I guess there's just a small bit of faith that you have in the dog back to the 400 metres here. It does look a trip that would always be ideal. It's had 2 starts for a win and a placing over the trip back to WA. It probably wasn't starting up to its brilliant best, its last few starts up there at Albion Park, but we just know how much of a motor this dog's got, and as long as it gets a few steps to muster, geez, it's going to take a whole lot of stopping for that mid-race zoom that it does possess. If it's not quite right, number 1, What a Ripper, is the logical danger, unbeaten from box number 1. It's got good early pace. It's going to be right up there on top of the speed. Outside of those, number 8 in Crumble Manelli, probably not going to its best, but can probably hit the frame here. And I'll throw in number 5, All Over Carly, 4, 1, 8 and 5 for me in race number 3.
I'll go 4, 1, 5, 8. Number 4, Sunset Frazier on top. Like Shorty said, it's actually not really jumping that well from some of his Queensland runs. Comes back here to Mandurah, where has won in the past, but not overly quick out here as well compared to how it jumps at Cannington. For second, number 1, What a Ripper. For third, 5, All Over Carly. And for fourth, I'll throw in 8, Crumble Manelli. 4, 1, 5, 8, race 3.
Race number 4, the favourite here is with number 3, Don't Tell Dasher at $3.40, Jesse.
Yeah, I like this greyhound in box number 3, but I've gone with the greyhound drawn next to it as well in Startup Ando. Form has been really solid in provincial class company, mixing up track and distances. Drops back down to the 400. I thought could run a cheeky race here. From number 1 in West on Whistle, just off the good draw. For third, number 5, Hugo Gundy, I've got for second, who has won 2 of his last 3. For third, number 7, Butter Me Up, who's got good form over the trip. And for fourth, I'll throw in the 3, the favourite Don't Tell Dasher, whose form at Northam's been really solid. 4, 5, 7, 3, race 4.
Yeah, I've gone the same way with number 4, Start Up Ando. It's been a little while between drinks for this dog, but it's certainly been racing with great consistency. I like the way that it hit the line last time out. It'll be nice and strong the back end of 400 metres. Just thought if it could sort of land in a handy position here, it might be a touch too strong over the concluding stages for a few of the opponents in this race. Number 3, Don't Tell Dasher, as Jesse alluded to, some of that recent work at Northam's been really good. Was placed here a couple of starts ago behind Hugo Gundy, who is my third pick. The dog's racing well. 2 out of its last 3 has been on top of the winner's dais. Then I didn't have much between 7, Butter Me Up, and 1, West on Whistle. West on Whistle's well drawn, and number 7, Butter Me Up's funny dog, generally begins really well, then has a bit of a flat spot, and then comes again in its races. A bit of a unique racing pattern. Has been placed 9 of 14, though. Always a good dog to throw in for your novelties. 4, 3, 5 and 7 for me in race 4.
I've read this a little different than you boys. Number 5, Hugo Gundy, I'm putting on top. He's won 2 of his last 3. Number 1, West on Whistle's got an excellent record. 5 wins from box number 1. 7, Butter Me Up, doesn't find the line, but certainly can run into the novelties. And I thought 6, Slowly Drifting, was one that you could put into the novelties for value as well. 5, 1, 7, 6 in race number 4. Race number 5, very open market here. $4, Quest for Power and Ned, both equal favourites. Enjoyable Cherry Blue, $4.20. So very open market. Quest for Power, I'll put on top for Jackie Wilson. Good record from inside draws. Nice win last start. For second, I'll put in number 3, Enjoyable. Greyhound has been racing very well, both at Northam and Mandurah. Number 4, Cherry Blue's been thereabouts. And 7, Miss Vivas. 1, 3, 4 and 7. Shorty?
Yeah, I've gone for a bit of value here with greyhound number 5, Cambosis Jr. There's a lot of pace in this race with 1, Quest for Power, 2, Ned, 3, Enjoyable, 4, Cherry Blue. They're all really quick beginners here. Just thought there was a chance that there may be a little bit of jamming heading towards the fence. And Cambosis Jr., go to its runs 2 and 3 starts back. It's begun pretty well. The effort 3 back's the one that really sticks with me. It was a country grade 3 race, ran 22.41, was beaten 0.1 of a length behind Spooky Hook, who has since come out and won the Shorts heat and final in really impressive fashion. So that form reads up really well for a race like this for Cambosis Jr. At the $5, I'm prepared to have a ping at the stumps on an each-way basis. I'll go with 5, Cambosis Jr. From 1, Quest for Power, who is well drawn here. If there is a bit of jamming, it gets the chance to use the fence, push up and land into a really nice position. Number 3, Enjoyable, racing in a purple patch at the moment for the train. And number 4, Cherry Blue, is another with good early pace. It just depends on what happens in that first 100 to 150 metres with dogs 1 through to 4 with that excellent pace. I'm kind of hoping 5 just sits outside of them. If there is a bit of a jamming, gets that zoom around them and can take off from there. 5, 1, 3 and 4. Number 2, Ned's worthy of respect as well. Miss Vivas has been going particularly well. It's a really good race. The first leg of the quaddie, I think you have to go pretty wide, Pete. 5, 1, 3, 4.
I'll go 1, 3, 2, 5. 1, Quest for Power on top. Just from the draw, he's got a draw advantage here on some of the rivals. From number 3, Enjoyable, racing really well. For third, 2, Ned, and for fourth, 5, Cambosis Jr. 1, 3, 2, 5, race 5.
First 2 to the Express Stake, and equal favourites Unleash Mayhem and also Sunset Tyson. Ripon Tomahawk was successful in this race for Shane Williams. Number 5's a scratching here, Jesse.
I've gone with number 2 and Unleashed Mayhem. Racing okay at Northam in country class affairs, but just does not handle the 509s, just a step too far. Back down to the 400 where he's got a really good record here, tested in Provincial 4 company here, but I think should win. From 4, Sunset Tyson, a greyhound with a massive motor, but he can do things wrong and he might give Unleashed Mayhem a start, which I don't think he can afford to do. For third, number 7, Custard Manelli, and for fourth, I'll throw in 6, Sandpatch. He's got good form over the 300 metres. 2, 4, 7, 6, race 6.
It's a really good race. There's a number of very talented greyhounds that are all coming into this race in pretty good form. I've ended up leaning towards number 6, Sandpatch. I had nothing between 6, 2 and 4, and the market's pretty much the same way, so it's not rocket science stuff. But I just thought now with that scratching a Catchu, Sandpatch gets the chance to get that little bit of room, and if it can cross Unleash Mayhem, it's going on those recent wins, 16, 75, 78 and 96, to break 17 seconds, 3 straight runs. The dog's going really well. I'm sure that Unleash Mayhem is a dog that will be hitting the line hard, as will Sunset Tyson if it gets a good look at them. But just thinking that Scratching a Catchu especially just leaning me towards 6 Sandpatch with that excellent short course form to make it 4 on the bounce. From 2, Unleash Mayhem, who will get down to the rails and will be strong late. Number 4, Sunset Tyson. What a stunning win this was last week. It just had everything line up though for it. It must be said last week, Sunset Tyson. Small field, country grade 4 company. It got room early and that was the key. It went 6:21. The dog doesn't always show that alacrity out of the lid. So if it does tonight, it can absolutely win again. But it's a little bit different, the makeup of this particular lineup. And number 7 in Custard Manelli, who generally is pretty consistent around hitting the frame and in this grade can improve a bit. 6, 2, 4 and 7.
2, 4, 6 and 7 Unleashed Mayhem. I'll go on top there in race number 6. I think you boys have covered the form pretty well. Race number 7, number 3 Apache Havoc is at $3.20. Number 4 is a scratching here. I'm going with one that's returning, had a couple of runs back from a lengthy spell, was on the sidelines for quite a while, but a very talented chaser that's won 4 of 7 over the trip, and that's Cubit Manelli, currently quoted at $3.80, so I was expecting a little bit longer, but I think he'll be very hard to beat for David Hobby. His first run back was full of merit, and then his last start he got into a fair bit of trouble when he got hampered early. So 6 on top from number 3, Apache Havoc. Number 5 in Sunset Pepe, and I'll put in number 1 Respect Advocacy back in 4th place. 6, 3, 5 and 1 Shorty.
Oh, pretty keen here. Number 5, Sunset Pepe, made it one of the best bets on the program. Love its last 5 starts. Was a winner in 22.35, 5 back. No luck behind Miss Envy after that, and then was a good winner here again in 22.23. Quick time, good early split, 6.34, and last 2 runs have been excellent behind that form dog we touch on, Spooky Hook. A few of my selections tonight come out of that Spooky Hook form line. Love the way that dog's chasing, taking out that short course feature there a couple of weeks ago, and I think Sunset Pepe, excellent in defeat both times. Cop checks in the run and just continued to chase really hard, and the times were still good, 22.21 and 22.40. Generally a good beginner, like the way the dog's going, and I think it's a great price tonight. Happy to be with Sunset Pepe. From number 6, Cubit Manelli. Now look, there's no doubt that Cubit Manelli's the fastest dog in this race, probably by a significant margin. If it was match racing, Cubit Manelli would absolutely be my on-top pick. However, it's run 2 starts ago when it ran 22.70. I think it took a while to pick up Redhead Rider, and the time wasn't really there, 22.70. And then last week, never really got into the contest at all behind Jimmy's Jet. I'm prepared to have a small saver on Cubit Manelli. Anytime it's in a race and it's at a decent price, I always would be entitled to probably have a saver. You have a look at its SP profile, its last 10. It started in the red at 7 of those 10 starts. So it's generally very, very well respected in the market. And tonight, that's not necessarily the case at $3.80. So I'm backing Sunset Pepe, having a small save on Cubit Manelli. Number 3, Apache Havoc is a greyhound with really good early pace. As long as it misses Respect Advocacy early, who can get up the track a little bit, it comes right into play. And number 4, Bandit Bullet, is a dog that comes across with some pretty nice form. The other dog that is a must include is number 7, Long Johnny. It's always there and thereabouts. You have to include it for your tries and first fours. But I think Sunset Pepe's found the right race, a little more reliable than Cubit Manelli.
I'll go 6, 5, 8 and 3. I'm with Cubit Manelli on top. Like you said, Shorty, he only went 22.70, but this greyhound, he only does enough to win. I think that's the key here. Even with a lot better competitors, I think that will bring out that inner competitive fire in him, and I think he'll win. From 5, Sunset Pepe. For 3rd, 8, West on Marley. And for 4th, number 3, Apache Havoc. 6, 5, 8, 3, race number 7.
I think if you go back and watch his replay in that win, you'll find that he met a fair bit of trouble. Race number 8 is the final leg of the quaddie over the 488, and Starlight Arrow was at $2.40, Sunset Lasso at $2.70. I'm going Sunset Lasso, a greyhound who hasn't won in 6 starts, but certainly can play a major part here from an inside draw. For 2nd, I'll put in number 7, Must Be Speedy. Really nice win going back 4 runs ago, and I thought full of merit last start behind Chef's Kiss. For 3rd, number 1, Starlight Ariel, and 8, Trunky Irene. 2-7-1-8, race number 8.
A good race. Interesting. Sunset Lasso, as you touched on, it's been a little while between drinks. Starlight Ariel is probably going to be the strongest. It'll be really powering to the line. I don't love the price, though, about a dog that gets back in its races. Thought it was probably more of a a really nice place bet, but that's not going to be available given how short it is now in the marketplace. So I think I'll have a throw at the stumps with number 7 here, just on prices. Must Be Speedy. I wasn't going to go that way, but I think for it to be $10, I think that's over the odds for a dog that's racing quite nicely at the moment. I'll have a little ping at the double figures each way there on Must Be Speedy. From number 1, Starlight Ariel, as I touched on, I think it's probably the most likely winner, but the price is probably trim enough for a dog that doesn't win a stack. Number 2, Sunset Lasso. As I've said, it's been a while between drinks, but the dog's very capable on its night. And I'll round it out with number 8, Trunky Irene. The other dog of note's number 4, Oliver Gundy, been racing well for Jeff Reed. 7 each way at the price from 1, 2 and 8.
I will go 2, 6, 1 and 8. 2, Sunset Lasso on top. Good draw here. She's got plenty of speed. I don't think Starlight Ariel's going to get into any early speed battles, so I think she should cross and get to the top. 6, Grass Patch I've got for second. We'll follow, get a nice card across here. It's showing a bit of dash over the 400 metres. Stepping up to the 488, she'll run a big race. For third, number 1, Starlight Ariel. She'll get back, run on. Being on the fence is key here. And for fourth, I'll throw in 8. Trunky Irene was a good winner, 2 back over the 400 in 22.48. 2, 6, 1, 8, race 8.
All right, Ryan Levitsky's told us to get a move on. Miss Magnificence at $3 in race number 9. Jesse, which way are you going here?
I'll go 1, 4, 8, 3, just from the box draw. Tilly Tornado on top. From 4, Incredible Pink. 8 in Miss Magnificent. And fourth, I will throw in 3, Bracton. 1, 4, 8 and 3.
1, 8, 5 and 4 for me. Pretty keen here on the red Tilly Tornado. Finally comes up with an inside marble here, and I think that could be the key to this race for John Cole, a greyhound that's obviously still pretty new to the caper. It's only had the 30 starts. It's won 5 of them. Only had the 1 start from the red, won it from box 2, 4 starts for 2 wins and 2 placings, and its last 6 runs, 8, 7, 6, 7, 3, 7. So hasn't seen the inside for a while. Tonight's the night. Good luck to you, Johnny Cole, an absolute stalwart of our industry. He's been a ripper for a long time. Hopefully he can go home with a winner tonight with Tilly Tornado. From 8, Miss Magnificent. Number 5 in Lady Daystar, runs plenty of placings, and 4, Incredible Pink.
I found it very difficult. I'll go 4, 6, 8, 1 just for numbers, but not a betting race for me over the 300. Race number 10 again over the 300 metres. The favourite here in an open race, number 6, ZZ Dawn at $3. I'll be going that way for Gary Nelson, a greyhound who hasn't won in a little while, but certainly has ability. Most of the wins have come from the inside draw, but only recently joined Gary's care. Number 3 for second, Multiverse, a greyhound who hasn't had a lot of luck in recent starts. 2, Negroni, love the name, love the drink, and 4, ZZ Gold, 6, 3, 2, 4.
6, 3, 2 and 4 for Pete. I've gone with number 2, Negroni. I think $4 is price probably good enough to tempt me to have a little punt here. Place 4 of 7, knocking on the door for a win. Hopefully this is the race. From number 6, ZZ Dawn. Its last run was a good one. It's not too far away from the action. 3, Multiverse, and 7, West on Trixie. 2, 6, 3, 7.
I'll go 6, 8, 3, 1, 6, ZZ Dawn on top. From 8, Making It Rain for third. Number 3, Multiverse, and for fourth, 1, Aeroplane Penny. 6, 8, 3 and 1, race 10.
Jimmy's Jet crashed in last week after Ryan Levitsky declared it. $1.36 is on offer tonight, Shorty.
Yeah, that's nowhere near as appealing as the 220 last week, Pete. I hope plenty of our listeners got a lot out of it. I know it was in a lot of people's multis, and it was armchair viewing there last week. It's a little bit of a different setup tonight, but with vacant boxes inside and outside, we know the key for Jimmy's now is just room to muster, and he's going to get that. Go see Katoni's out scratched as well, so there's nothing in 5, 6 or 7 and nothing in 3, so Jimmy's gets an airport to roll up, and that's, as we know, every jet loves an airport, and Jimmy's will be cashing in tonight. So 4 on top and very hard to beat, but the price is certainly not that attractive. From number 8, our Benson will get room also out wide, can hit the frame into second. 2, Solid Tank. 1, Terra County. 4-8-2-1.
4-8-2-1 for me as well in race 11.
I think Paul Stewart might sponsor your show. Jimmy's Jet Set later on this evening, Shorty. 4-8-2-1. Jimmy's Jet on top for me. And in the last, the favourite is with number 7, Pecorino Manelli at $2.45. I'll go 5, 6, 7 and 2. Exponential, a greyhound who's been knocking on the door, I think, in tougher opposition. 6, Marg's Dynasty. 7, Pecorino Manelli has won from an outside draw, but doesn't win all that often. And at number 2, Chasing the Ace. 5, 6, 7 and 2. And also it's his first start over the 300. I think he's a risk.
Yeah, I'll go with Pecorino. It's been showing good pace over the 400. Back to the 3 now. I think it can get across and be hard to beat from number 5, Exponential, running plenty of placings. Number 6, Marg's Dynasty's a nice dog on its night. And then didn't have much between 2 and 1. Chasing the Ace, Silly Old Bear, Liquor License could hit the frame. It's there's a few hopes, but I'll go with the 7 in the last, Jesse.
7-3-5-1-7, Pecorino Manelli for me as well. Not overly strong over the 400. Back to the 300. I think this is his race to lose. From number 3 in Liquor License, for third, number 5 Expediential, and for fourth I will throw in number 1 Silly Old Bear. 7-3-5-1, race 12.
Let's go to Ryan Levitsky. He has the opportunity to go across to Adelaide in a couple of weeks if Barbecue Man can win the WA Sprint Championship next Thursday night at Northam. Good morning, Ryan. Good run last night.
It sure was, Pete. But what about Transcendent? Boy, oh boy. Not many dogs can run down Firelighter over 509.
No, I thought Firelighter was a little bit disappointing, but it was a very good time, wasn't it?
Well, I don't think Firelighter was disappointing. I think he probably went maybe a bit better than last week, and Transcendent just monstered him.
It just lobbed in the perfect spot, didn't it? Got that perfect trail across into second, had the slipstream and was really strong late. And the litter before, I think, for memory, was Electrify. This dog reminds me so much of that dog.
Yeah, I think this dog will be winning interstate. We've got another one. WA's got another one.
Yep, I'd like to be having ownership in Barbecue Man over Firelighter personally, myself. What's your best tonight, please?
My best, Pete, I like race 4, number 4, Startup Ando. This dog's going really well for Chris House. $4 fixed odds looks enticing. Race 5, number 5, Cambosis Jr. I think we'll get a bit of room there with Cherry Blue cutting left. So $5 for it looks good. And race 8, number 1, Starlight Ariel, $2.40. Race 4, number 4, race 5, number 5, race 8, number 1, and no quaddie.
All right, what about tomorrow night at Mandurah?
Race 4, number 5, West on Booney, class act, too good for them. Race 6, number 4, Shy Emoji at value. Nice run last start against quality opposition. And race 12, number 2, Sunset Nightjar to beat Emerald Guard. So we've got race 4, number 5, race 6, number 4, race 12, number 2, and a quaddie with 72 combos, 1, 3 and 6, into 1, 4 and 5, into 1, 2, 5, 8, into 2 and 8.
Beautiful work. No racing on Sundays anymore for a period of time. What do you like on Monday or Tuesday, please?
On Monday, Pete, race 7, number 1, Lip Tricks. And Tuesday, race 13, I think it's only a country 5, but it is a magnificent field. And I think number 1 will get plenty of room there. I can't remember the dog's name, but anyway, Toad. But it's a really good field, race 13 on Tuesday, and yeah, I think number 1 Toad will get some room.
Good on you. Enjoy the calling tonight.
Thank you, Pete.
Ryan Levitsky there with his thoughts, and who would you prefer, Firelighter or Barbecue Man, Shorty?
Oh, jeez. Firelighter or Barbecue Man? At this stage, Barbecue Man has probably put a few more runs on the board, but I'd love to own either, to be honest.
All right.
They're both nice dogs. Who would you prefer?
Jesse?
Oh, well, I've got
Barbecue Man.
I've got Barbecue Man's little sister, so that'll do me. She wins enough races.
All right. What's your best tonight, please?
Race 2, number 4, Beauty in Me. Race 4, number 4, Startup Ando. And race 6, number 2, Unleashed Mayhem. For a quaddie, we'll go 1, 2, 3 and 5 the first leg. Second leg, 2 and 4. Third leg, 3, 5, 6 and 8. And the final leg, 1 and 6. What about yourself there, Shorty?
Best bets for me on the program tonight. I'm really keen. Race 2, number 4, Beauty in Me. I just think it sets up really nicely for that particular greyhound this evening. And deeper into the card, race 7, number 5, Sunset Peppy, and race 9, number 1, Tilly Tornado. So they're my 3 key plays. Race 9, number 1, race 7, number 5, and race 2, number 4. Quaddie-wise, I'm going pretty wide tonight. This will be around about the 300 range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, leg 1. 2, 4, 6, leg 2. 3, 5, 6, leg 3. Home with 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. I think it's a night where there's quite a few winning prospects in a couple of those legs. Hopefully we can get the double figure odds up in the first and last legs and get a nice divvy out of the quaddie there tonight at Mandurah.
All right, let's turn our attention across the 12-race program tomorrow night at Mandurah. Great to have 12 race programs back up and about again. And max capacity is currently at 230 racing, Barbie 260. I really like the chances of max capacity from an inside draw. I think he's one of the better bets on the program. Start off with a winner for Lewis Clay. 3 racing, Barbie can run second. 4 premium stars, a talented chaser, and 5 in Impress Amber. But I really like max capacity to start it off on Saturday night, Shorty.
Yeah, I'm with you, Pete. Made it one of the best bets on the program. Max capacity looks to be a young greyhound with a very bright future for Lewis Clay. The draw is certainly favourable from number 3 racing, Barbie. They stood out a little bit to me. I think they're both pretty nice dogs on the way through. I'm then leaning towards greyhound number 4, Premium Star, who's another young star, still learning the racing caper, but there's a motor for the House team to work with. And I'll round it out with greyhound number 6, Zipping Lewick. I like the way it won its maiden. Don't leave out the 8 dog Zinc if you're playing trifectas and first fours. It could hit the frame running on late and jack up tries and first fours. 1, 3, 4 and 6. Pretty keen. 1 max capacity, one of the bets of the night though. Jesse, how do you see it?
Yeah, max capacity looks really hard to beat. 1, 3, 4, 8 just off the inside draw. Ran home really well. 2 back, broke 11 in the run home before then. Good second behind West On Madge from a wide draw. So in for box number 1, I think should be a special for Lewis Clay. For second, 3 racing, Barbie. For third, 4 Premium Star. And for fourth, I'll throw an 8 Zinc. 1, 3, 4, 8 race 1.
Do you go with 1 in the second, Jesse? Hector Hunter, who's currently the favourite on Tab Touch at $3.
Yeah, even though its last run from box 1 was a little bit disappointing after getting in some early trouble, I think box 1 here is going to be a big key. Actually, it's been drawn very well throughout its only 5 starts. So Hector Hunter on top. From 2, Ripon Moses. For third, 4, Cachise Attitudes racing really well, but box 4 might be a bit difficult. And for fourth, I will throw in 3, Black Ness also racing well. 1, 2, 4, 3 in race number 2.
Yeah, I'll go with Hector Hunter. The dog's shown a pretty good level of ability to this stage for Morgan Turner. He's going really well with his team at the moment, Morgs, and I know that they're pretty happy with the way things are ticking over, so long may it continue, particularly here with Hector Hunter, a young dog that has won from the draw in 27 and 69. I think can cash in on the alley. His last couple of runs hasn't got out of the lids all that well, but prior to that had been beginning okay. So if we can just get out of those lids okay on Saturday night, I think it'll take a bit of stopping. From number 3, Black Ness, a member of a very good litter, continues to improve with racing. I think it'll be there in the mix. Number 4 in Cachise Attitude and 2 Ripon Moses. 1, 3, 4, 2.
Same 4 numbers. Hector Hunter on top. Cachise Attitude for a greyhound that's gone 27.38 and yet to win at the track and distance or at the distance at least, is certainly a tough pill to swallow for the owners. Number 2, Ripon Moses. 3, Black Ness. 1, 4, 2, 3. Race number 2. Race number 3 on the program, and number 3, Common Man, is currently at $3.60 and favourite. I thought West On Coal would be hard to beat here, Shorty, from an inside draw. What do you think?
I think it's a good race. I think Love We Shared off the inside was, won its maiden at Northam in pretty decent style, and Paul Cults is very rare that his dogs don't make the most of it when they get an inside draw. But West On Coal, his last 3 runs have all been impressive. A dog that to this point in time is generally bomb-proof out of the lids, gets up and going really nicely, and this looks a suitable assignment for it. I'll go with number 2 on top, West On Coal. From greyhound number 3, Common Man. 1, A Love We Shared, and 6, Pingelly Prince could run a nice race. 2, 3, 1 and 6.
I'll go 2, 3, 7, 6, 2 West On Coal on top. But $5 I thought it's a good quote for greyhound. It was a good winner of a maiden last start. From number 3 in Common Man, dropping back from the 652. For third, 7, Firefly Lane, and for fourth, number 6, Pingelly Prince. 2, 3, 7, 6, race 3.
2 on top, West On Coal for me as well. From the inside draw, number 3, Common Man's been knocking on the door for Cozzy. Number 4, New Hope, and 5, Gino Bravinsky. 2, 3, 4, 5 down the page, race number 3. To race number 4 on the program, and this race here is over the 652 metres. No market up at the moment, but West On Booney, as Ryan said, does look a class above these, Shorty.
Yeah, there was a market up earlier in the week, and Booney was, I think, around that $1.30 range. So no spoils there for punters with Booney, but nor would you expect them, to be fair. He's just such an exciting dog, West on Booney, to this trip, which is ideal. All the recent form's been against, the hot dogs, Sunset Comanche, Sunset Hornet, Sanisha up there at Albion Park, where it was far from disgraced. Really, really classy dog, West on Booney, and looks to be the winner of this particular event from number 4, Ballistic Ant. 1 Pepper Grinder will be running on late, and number 8 in Stevie Manelli, 5, 4, 1 and 8.
I will go 5, 1, 4, 2, 5 West on Booney on top. Just hard to see him getting beat here. From number 1 in Pepper Grinder, racing really well over this trip. For third, number 4 Ballistic Ant could show a bit of early dash, and for fourth, number 2 Disco Tricks if we're running on. 5, 1, 4, 2, race 4.
Yeah, he's a class act, West on Booney. 5 on top. 1 Pepper Grinder, nicely drawn. I agree with you, Jesse. 4 Ballistic Ant at 8. Stevie Manelli, 5, 1, 4 and 8 in the fourth. To race number 5 again over the 652 metres. And no market up again. This is an interesting race because there's a little bit of exposed form here. I'm going with number 3, Carter Axelrod. I know that he hasn't won in 8 starts, but he's a greyhound that can certainly play a part in a race like this. Coco Shimmer, beaten last start from box number 1, but I thought Sunset Comanche was very, very good on that occasion. Number 4, Jamie Keeping's also very talented, as is Tim and Lane. So there's quite a few winning chances here, I thought, but I'll go 3, 1, 4 and 6, Shorty.
Similar for me, 3 on top, Carter Axelrod. We know this dog's best is very good. Got bumped early last week when Malfetta Cruz got up the track. I'm tipping that might have taken a bit of the wind out of the sails of Carter Axelrod. This time around, you would expect that it gets an opportunity to roll up on top of the speed and be right there in the firing line. From number 6, Tim on Lane, made up good late ground there last week behind All About Cole. It was almost like there were 2 separate races on, though. All About Cole and Malfetta Cruz up front. Then there was a gap of about 7 lengths back to the other 6 dogs. Tim on Lane won that race, so maybe that would have got a bit of confidence out of that. It'll be hitting the line hard. 1 Coco Shimmer and 4 Jamie Keeping always runs well over this trip. 3, 6, 1, 4.
I'll go 1, 6, 3, 5. I think Jamie will get the Quinella here. Coco Shimmer on top just from the box draw. Good win 3 back when defeating Clifton Isla in a country class assessed here. For second, number 6 in Tim on Lane. He's always thereabouts. Box 80 was a good place bet last start. For third, 3, Carter Axelrod. I just don't think he gets the 652 at this stage in his career. And for fourth, I'll throw in 5. Hippie Trail will be getting back and running on. 1, 6, 3, 5, race 5.
He wasn't very happy last night, Jamie Shorty. He was up there. He was crying the whole night. I think he had a runner in race 11 maybe, so he had to wait the whole night. And it was cold, but he was drinking water because Jesse wasn't driving him.
Oh, I see.
So he had to be responsible and drink water, the poor boy.
Oh, that would have been a setback.
Yeah, it was. I'll try and get these markets up from Andrew in a moment, but race number 6, which way are we going here? Sunset Comanche was very, very impressive over the 652 last week, Jesse, and drops back to the 488.
Yeah, I think this race is his to lose. Good second, 2 back behind Penny Magic as well, who franked that form at Northam in those distance heats. Or should be one of the favourites in the final next week, Penny Magic. So dropping back to the 480, I don't think it'll worry Sunset Comanche too much. Good record off box number 1. For second, number 8, Common Speed. Got plenty of outside pace here, but I think might cross Seriously Lush. For third, number 4, Shy Mochi. Get back, runs on. And for fourth, I'll throw in 5, Spooky Hook, who is stepping up in trip, but form over the 400 metres is fantastic. 1, 8, 4, 5, race 6.
Yeah, I've gone with number 1, Sunset Comanche. Dropping back in trip, and I guess there's a bit of pace in this race with Steel Girl, Spooky Hook and Common Speed. Seriously Lush can show speed, so it's likely to get back. And sometimes when dogs race over a distance, they can race a little bit dour coming back the other way. So just hope it doesn't get too far out of its ground. But you know that it's going to be absolutely monstering to the line late. From number 5, Spooky Hook. As I touched on, a number of my Friday night tips were based around the form line of how well this dog's going at the moment for Andrew McLaren. Last 3 wins have all been excellent, up to the 488. It may be on fumes late, but if it does happen to nick a bit of a break mid-race, could take some running down. 8, Common Speed, going really well for Cozzy, and number 4 in Shy Emoji. 1, 5, 8 and 4.
Yeah, certainly going very well over the 400, isn't he, Spooky Hook? I'm going with Sunset Comanche. I think he's one of the specials on the program from an inside draw. 8, Common Speed, another chaser who's going very, very well and doesn't mind a wide box. Number 5, Spooky Hook will be there for a long time, and 4, Shy Emoji, 1854 in race number 6 on the program as we go to race number 7. And number 7, Sunset Callisto, a greyhound who's been racing against some really smart types. Bezecchi recently, Rare Speed, Sunset Bubbles, and drops back in grade, I think, on Saturday night. I'm going to be putting him on top of number 5. Tier Tremor, a greyhound who was very impressive, first up over the distance. Number 8, Fancy That Fred's been chasing well. And number 6, Circle the Moon, is an interesting newcomer from Victoria, was a winner over the 425 at Bendigo a couple of runs ago, Shorty. 7, 5, 8 and 6 in race 7.
7, 5, 8 and 6 for Pete. I'll go with number 8, Fancy That Fred, in this race. This greyhound's got a really nice turn of speed, only very young, still learning the race, all about the racecraft at this stage. But when it gets opportunity to just use that pace, it's generally really hard to get by. We saw that happen 5 starts ago when winning in 22 and 32. From box 8, happy to be with Fancy That Fred on top here. From greyhound number 7, Sunset Callisto, this dog's best around that 22-15 range, sees it very hard to beat. 2, Brute Banner, is a dog that has got a pretty nice resume to this point in time and can certainly show up here. And number 5, Tier Tremor, 8, 7, 2 and 5 for me, race number 7.
I'll go 8, 2, 5, 7. Number 8, Fancy That Fred on top. I don't think you'll mind the wide draw. He's got good early pace. I think he can zoom around some of these. For second, 2, Brute Banner. This is an interesting chaser. Wasn't disgraced last week behind Wild Ollie, but if you go back to the Grafton form, started one of the favourites for the $75,000 final at Grafton. That's the Thunderbolt final. So did a lot of things wrong on that occasion. That's why he had the satisfactory trial, but he has plenty of ability. For third, number 5, Tier Tremor, and for fourth, I'll throw in 7, Sunset Callisto. 8, 2, 5, 7, race 7.
The reason the markets are down, all the races from about race 5 onwards, the times have been changed, start times, so the markets automatically come down. We're just trying to get those up at the moment. To race number 8, Jesse, and Chef's Kiss has been chasing very, very well. Very impressive last start from box number 8.
Yeah, it was, but I'm going to go with a greyhound who's drawn a bit close to the fence in Western Astro. 2 back, was a winner from a wide draw in 27-26, went 5.78 early. There's not a lot of pace on the inside with Max's Odyssey and Tarzan. They're sort of get-back run-on chasers. So I think Western Astro should be off and gone here. From 2, Max's Odyssey. For third, number 8, Chef's Kiss. I just don't like the box 8 over the 488. For third, and for fourth, I'll throw in 7, Balmerino. 3, 2, 8 and 7, race 8.
I'm going to go with number 8, and I'll make it a special Chef's Kiss. Came from this identical draw last week, handled the draw beautifully. Going back 4 starts ago, came from box number 7 and had no problems at all from that draw. So seems to just sort of hold its line, and then once it gets room on the inside, it sort of works its way over quite nicely. A pretty intelligent dog, Chef's Kiss, and I was taken by that win last week. I thought it was a good performance. So a bit of a rinse and repeat job here. We'll see it hard to beat. Clear danger is number 3, Western Astro. The dog Jesse touched on. This canine is well above average. Great record track and trip. 6 starts for 4 wins and a second. I thought they looked a really nice Quinella in the race. Throwing in number 7, Balmerino. This dog's last 2 wins have really impressed me for Cosy D'Agostino. The times have been good, 27.45 and 54. This is probably a little bit tougher running into the likes of Western Astro and Chef's Kiss, but the dog's got a future here in WA, and it's got an excellent winning strike rate, 9 with 12 placings from just 30 starts. And number 2 in Max's Odyssey, racing really well, as most of Andrew McLaren's team are at the moment. 8, 3, 7 and 2.
When you have kids, Jesse, you'll realise, as Shorty and I do, that some kids love the fairy floss, and Chef's Kiss loves the fairy floss.
It does like room to zoom.
Yep, and it'll win. So special for me as well. I'll jump on Shorty's bandwagon while he's in form.
Even if Western Astro crosses it, though, or holds it out?
Yeah,
you don't reckon?
No. Just win.
There's only a half length between them early.
Yep.
I think there's not a truckload between them. I think it'll be a really good race. I think it'll be a really good race.
Speed on the outside of Western Astro, I think, is going to cause it some concern.
But there's no speed on the inside.
No, that's okay. Chef's Kiss on top for me from number 3, Western Astro. So I'm putting it for second. 7, Balmerino, I think, is racing in very good form. And number 2, Max's Odyssey, 8, 3, 7 and 2 in race number 8. Let's go to race number 9, the Tommy Shelby free for all over the 488 metres. And interesting inside scoop comes back to the racetrack for his second start. He was on the sidelines for a fair while. I thought Malfetta Cruz back to this distance really suits. A greyhound has been chasing an outstanding form. So 2 on top. From number 8, Pudding Manelli, I think that he's ideally drawn out wide. For third, I'll put in number 4, Sunset Hornet, Sunset Mirage for fourth, 2841. Leaving out inside scoop, but we do know that he's a very, very talented chaser when he's at his best. We'll probably wait to see him get back to that form, Shorty. 2841.
Yeah, only a small field, but it's chock full of quality, this one. Malfetta Cruz back to the 488 after having a crack at the distance potential where it ran a good second last week. Just ran out of petrol tickets about the last 30 metres there over the 652, but I don't think it lost any admirers. The dog raced really well. Back here with a smallish field, plays to the dog's strengths, and it'll be powering to the line late. 2 on top, Malfetta Cruz. From number 4, Sunset Hornet, this dog was just winning everything for a good couple of months there. It's come back a little bit the last 2 starts, but it's been far from embarrassed. Placed fourth behind Spooky Hook, and then there's that form line again, and runner-up behind Hinto last time out. No shame in that either, so you've got to respect the Hornet. Number 8, Pudding Manelli. Nice to see the dog back in the winners list, to be honest. It was in the wilderness, it must be said, for a little while. Not running terribly, but just running a pile of placings, and it's finally broken through. And what should happen the start after? It's gone bang, bang. It's incredible how that can work. A bit of confidence and dogs get back up and firing, and it may well make it 3 on the bounce in this affair. And 1 Sunset Mirage, 2481.
I'll go 2, 4, 1 and 8. 2 Malfetta Cruz on top. I think Sunset Mirage and Sunset Hornet will burst the lead, and Malfetta Cruz will sit on the heels and run them down. For second, 4 Sunset Hornet. For third, number 1 Sunset Mirage. And for fourth, I will throw an 8 Pudding Manelli. 2, 4, 1, 8, race 9.
Hammo's put the markets up with those time changes. So just for their information, punters, West on Booney's currently $1.36. Coco Shimakata Axelrod equal favourites at $2.60. Sunset Comanche at $1.60 in race 6. In race 7, open market, Brute Banner $3.30 currently favourite. Race number 8, favourite is with number 8, Chef's Kiss at $2.90, West on Astro at $3.60, Jesse. Race number 9, Malfetta Cruz is currently at $1.80. Let's go to race number 10 on the program, and just waiting for the market to be updated here. Malfetta Abbey, greyhound who was placed first up. Shorty was impressive in a qualifying trial and found all sorts of trouble on debut. I'm going to go that way for Nick Minutillo. 5 Hollywood Miss has been trialling well. The third, number 4 Global Track has had a few opportunities, and 1 Phantom Runner, 2, 5, 4 and 1.
Yeah, gone the same way, leaning on that quali trial in 27.57. Something like that here for Malfetta Abbey would see it pretty hard to knock off, I would suggest. From greyhound number 5 in Hollywood Miss, obviously on debut, it's going to be open to a bit of improvement, but it finished runner-up behind Malfetta Abbey in that quali trial, so might be a similar outcome in this particular race. 4 Global Tracker has got a bit of racetrack experience. That can be very valuable in these sorts of races, and the 1 Phantom Runner, 2541.
Shazam, 2541 for me as well. Malfetta Abbey on top from 5 Hollywood Miss, 4 Global Tracker and 1 Phantom Runner.
Some greyhounds like the pink, some greyhounds like the red, and Bundeegi's one of those, Shorty.
It is indeed, Pete. The old cherry bandit Bundeegi in its career to this point in time. 5 starts for 4 wins and a placing off the inside, and that's the way I am going to go for that excellent box 1 record to continue here. From greyhound number 6 in Light Manelli, I've got a bit of a love affair with this dog. It's probably not going to its absolute top at the moment. Over the last 10 starts, hasn't really been nailing the start like it can, but I know for a fact you need only look back 2 starts ago, sub 17. When it gets the start right, Light Manelli is a legitimate canine. I'll then include greyhound number 2, Our Boy Doug, who is a greyhound that loves an inside draw. It has to be included. And Jesse's dog, number 5, Neon Leon. It's right up in grade now, but gee, the dog's been racing well. And to Jesse and Alex, a couple of our TAB radio colleagues, delighted to see them with this dog. Pete, they're having a lot of fun, and Alex, he's already queuing up to get his next greyhound. So it's great for the sport to get new people involved, and Alex Vlahos is having an absolute ball following around Neon Leon.
Yeah, I think you might get lapped here, Shorty. He's going to have a reality check here in Free For All Company. He might have to see if we can get the water tanker off the track after he finishes, because he has every chance to get run over here. I've gone 1, 6, 2 and 4. Number 1, Bundeegi on top. Just from the draw, I think he should be winning, or she should be winning. From number 6 in Light Manelli. For third, to Our Boy Doug. And for fourth, I'll throw in for Ichabod Mudd, who dropping down in trip, I thought could be a really big improver here. 1, 6, 2, 4, race 11.
You're very funny, Jesse. You've made me laugh this morning, which I'm appreciative of. And the thing is, I think Shorty was mentioning, is the fact that you've got new people into the sport. So you're doing a good job.
He's wrapped, Alex.
Well done.
Oh, big time. I mean, and you can joke a bit about, it's right up in grey, but let's have a look at his last 10 starts. The Greyhounds only missed the top 3 on one occasion, and all around it, there's 3 wins there, stack of seconds. Sure, the times might make it a little tricky for Neon Leon, but the money's in the bank, as they say in the classics.
1, 2, 6 and 8 for me. Race 11 to the last. Emerald Guard, $1.80 favourite. I'll go 1, 2, 7 and 4. Shorty Emerald Guard from the inside has won 3 of 4 and should be winning again for Morgan Turner.
Yeah, I think so, Pete. I've made it one of the best bets. It's a cherry bandit too. 4 starts off the inside, 3 wins and a placing. Could be a really big night for Morgan Turner. From number 2, Sunset Nightjar. If it gets the start right, could really give them something to run down here. 7, Wise Barrett, never has a problem with the wide draw. And 4, Hurricane Taylor will be strong to the line. 1, 2, 7, 4.
I'm going to go with 2, Sunset Nightjar on top. I thought he could jump to the front and with a bit of trouble behind him could get a big enough break. He doesn't need as big of a break as he would over the 520. For second, number 1, Emerald Guard. For third, number 7, Wise Barrett. And for fourth, number 4, Hurricane Taylor. Best bets on the card. Race 1, number 1, Max Capacity. Race 5, number 1, Cocoa Shimmer. And race 7, number 8, Fancy That Fred. For a quaddie, we'll go 1, 3, 6 the first leg. Standout 1 in the second leg. 2, 7, 8 the third leg, and 2, 3, 7, 8 there in the final leg. What about yourself there, Shorty?
Best bets for me, Jesse. Race 1, number 1, a Max Capacity, and then deeper into the program, race 8, number 8, Chef's Kiss with a 3 and 8 Quinella, and race 12, number 1, Emerald Guard. From a quaddie perspective, first leg there, numbers are 1, 3, 4 and 6. Second leg, numbers 1 and 5. In the third leg, going with numbers 2, 5, 7 and 8, and then home with 3 and 8.
Good work, boys. Enjoyed your work and looking forward to having the best podcast in the business back up this afternoon. If you were following last week, you'd be cashed up and still trying to count some of the cash. The Tab Touch Greyhound Jet Set with David Shortte, Shane the Train Williams, and also those experts from the East Coast, including Jason Campbell and Corey Smith, and another special guest from Darwin will be on the show as well this afternoon, Shorty.
Yeah,
we have an interview for the industry participant interview?
What we've done this week, Jesse, with the train away, we're going to have an extended chat with Andrew Bones Harmon for the Darwin Cup up there on Sunday. And when the train's back in town next week, we'll get our VIP industry guest, because a big part of our chat is the burning 10 questions that the train puts to our trainers. So we'll hear from that next week.
Good on you, boys. That's chasing winners for this Friday morning. Grants of up to $5,000 are now available through the Racing WA Community Fund for groups or organisations that are making a meaningful difference in their communities. The grants aimed at animal or community-related programs and sustainability projects will be available to initiatives closely connected to one of WA's 47 race clubs. The first grant round will accept applications from community groups and projects that operate within a town connected to a race club in the Kimberley, Pilbara, Gascoyne, Wheatbelt or Midwest regions. The first grant round is now open and will close on Friday, 9th of August at 5 p.m. More information, go to rawa.com.au.
You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelpline.org.au.